We are looking at New Answers, lesson number 13, and the question is this: why don't we find human and dinosaur fossils together? Okay, good question. If we go back to the two world viewpoints that we've been talking about over and over, let's look at the biblical viewpoint and creationists, and we would say that on day 6 of creation, God created man and land animals. Dinosaurs would have been one of those land animals. And we would say, as Christians, that they did live at the same time. And so that it may be possible to find them. Evolutionists, on the other hand, say that there was millions of years of history, and dinosaurs lived long before man and eventually became extinct. The old Earth proponents often argue that if man and dinosaurs lived at the same time, their fossils should be found in the same layers. Since no one has found definitive evidence of human remains in the same layers as dinosaurs, they say that humans and dinosaurs are separated by millions of years of time and therefore didn't live together. So old Earth proponents ask a very good question. Why don't we find human fossils with dinosaur fossils if they lived at the same time? So let's just kind of break down some of the fossil records, okay? And some information that we just want to look at for a second. 95% of all fossils are marine organisms, such as shellfish and things like that, okay? Marine organisms, 95% of all fossils, okay? 95% of the remaining 5% is algae and plants. It's gets confusing, but stay with me. 95% of the remaining 0.25% are invertebrates, including insects, etc. Okay? That leaves 0.0125%. And that are vertebrates. And most of those are fish. So dinosaur fossils are very rarely found, as well as humans. Okay? The fossilization of humans is also very rare, okay? In most cases, dead things decompose or are eaten by other animals, right? Humans can fossilize, but usually in a quick catastrophic event, okay? It has to be something where, mudslides where it's completely covered in a very quick way that you may be preserved and a human body would be preserved, okay? Some modern examples of things that kind of show how rare it is and how it doesn't happen is in 2004 there was a tsunami. 43,000 people were never found. Let me say that again. 43,000 people were never found. So no one was ever fossilized. There was post-flood sediments, but nobody was ever found and fossilized in those. So some of the reasons we don't find human fossils in pre-flood areas, there's different reasons, but one of them is there was a smaller population. There was a population density. Most of them were along the coast, like the tsunami, so they probably weren't going to be fossilized. And another possible reason is that there's just massive amounts of sediment. Two studies place it between 168 million and 350 million cubic miles of flood sediment. That's a lot to go through. Maybe, if it's out there, we just haven't found it yet. So what about dinosaurs with human fossils? All we know for sure is that there's no evidence of them being buried together. Here's a question. Would you want to live with dinosaurs? Probably not, correct? The more likely that instead of it not existing, that as far as dinosaurs and humans living together, is that there's multiple reasons why we wouldn't see them. Namely, fossilization of vertebrates such as dinosaurs and humans is very rare. We probably weren't living in close proximity to each other. If humans and dinosaurs are ever found in the same layers, though, this is what's going to happen. Creationists, would not be surprised at all because it does not change or alter our beliefs. We know that God created humans and land animals on day 6. We believe that they lived together, even though there's no evidence to show it. But if there was, it wouldn't change our beliefs. Wouldn't surprise us. We'd be perfectly fine. Evolutionists, on the other hand, would be shocked. They would be completely challenging the idea. Their whole assumptions that they're starting with would be overturned, and they would have to change their beliefs or come up with some new reason as to why this was found. Okay, on page 185 of your book, it says this: the fundamental debate is really about the most trustworthy source of information about history. Do we start with the Bible, which God says is true in every detail, including its history, or do we start with the changing theories of imperfect man? God tells Christians to walk by faith, and that without faith it is impossible to please Him. But this is not a blind faith. God has filled the world with clear evidences that confirm the truth of His Word and the certainty of the Christian faith. The fossil record itself is an incredible testimony to the truth of God's Word and His promise to blot out all land-dwelling, air-breathing animals and humans in a worldwide catastrophe. Thanks.